Welcome to Cyber Materials Ask Me Anything Cyber, a fun, interactive weekly event for everything cybersecurity. Join us every week at noon Eastern Time for a high-energy, quick-hit recap of the week's biggest cyber stories, from data breaches and threat intel to major legal updates. Whether it's a high-profile hack, a new APT on the rise, or a must-attend summit, we've got it covered. But that's not all. We'll also break down the latest job market trends, share our thoughts on cyber stocks, and give you actionable insights to stay ahead. And of course, we wrap things up with what makes this show special: live Q&A with you. Have a question about a breach? Want to know how a threat works? Curious about getting started in cyber? Let us know and we'll answer it live. Without further ado, let's get this event started.
Welcome everyone to another show of Ask Me Anything Cyber. I'm thrilled to have you all here today, whether they're joining us live or catching up the replay. We got a packed session lineup, diving into the latest cybersecurity tech trends and some of the coolest innovation from CES 2026. But before we dive into the high-tech madness of CES, we need to shine the spot on what's happening right here on our own backyard in Brooklyn. So joining me here today, I have Vlad Shifrin. He is the founder of Pulse NYC, a community that has been the heartbeat of the city tech ecosystem since 2012. And he brings together over 50 tech professionals. And welcome, Vlad. And it's fantastic to have you today. Thank you for joining
Thank
us.
you. Hi, everyone. How are you?
Okay,
So,
so we're here to talk about something that is happening very soon. The Brooklyn Tech Expo is coming up on February 11th here, right in the city. But before, if you haven't grabbed your tickets for the expo, we are having a massive discount. Thank you, Vlad, for this. You can
of
grab your
course,
ticket with a 50% discount as Cyber50. You can scan the QR code on our screen here, and it will take you directly to the website, or you can visit Pulse at NYC and get your tickets there as well. So now, Vlad, this expo is huge. Can you give us a high level vision?
of course, yes. So, the Brooklyn Tech Expo is our flagship in-person conference, bringing together over 1,000 professionals, founders, and other innovators. So, the goal is simple: connect innovation and with opportunity, startups, enterprises, investors, talent in a high energy, practical environment. So we host different companies such as AI, tech, cybersecurity, fintech, software as a service, health tech, enterprise, and startups alongside established companies. And the highlights, we basically gather good crowd, over 1,000 attendees. We have strong media visibility, uh, very insightful seminars, and enterprise tech startups alongside, and partnership opportunities we offer is up to grabs. People come, they interact, they go to exhibitors, they go to seminars, they network with each other and create valuable connections right there on the spot.
And this is great, but just so the audience know, this is not only for the big tech, right? So there are other
No, of course not.
companies like startups and
Yeah, yeah.
like
Of course, yes. So besides, it's actually the majority of the attendance is for small to medium-sized businesses primarily, and these are startups in a AI space and the fintech space and the cybersecurity. Those are very active now with the development of the AI in the current tech
yeah,
world,
tech scene,
right?
yeah.
The companies that attend, they present their solutions, and they interact in a very very active and very interactive environment with each other, with attendees, and people do like the open space and environment we create for them.
That's amazing. And for
Mhm.
the companies that are watching out there, how did they get on this? Like if they wanted to be an exhibitor or a sponsor, what's the secret sauce of getting a great booth?
So basically, any company can just send us a note and follow and join as exhibitors, sponsors, or speakers, depending on whether their goal is branding, lead generation, or thought leadership. We provide environments for every company that has uh, to offer tech or any service related to technology. The best, way to maximize their, visibility and networking during the event would be, just basically be productive, be proactive, have a clear message for the audience you're trying to speak to, engage people at your booth, and, follow quickly the event.
That's
So
amazing. And I've seen the pictures on your website, and it looks like a very cool and packed expo. So I want to tell everybody like out there, like if you are a founder or a job seeker, that you should visit the Brooklyn Tech ecosystem. Is like I read that is one of like the faster, like growing faster than any other tech ecosystem in the country, right?
I believe so. Basically, we've seen companies presenting from not just even from the Brooklyn, let's say, area, from whole New York State, New York tri-state area. We have companies coming from Brooklyn, from Queens, from Manhattan, from Long Island. We've had companies presenting at our expo, or being a sponsor exhibitor or as an attendee as well. We try to create it
That's
more and
great.
more live,
Mhm.
right, more live environment, more open live environment for people to have real conversations and engage.
That's amazing, and that's great that we have this right here in the city. And
Hmm.
because like the city is like packed with a lot of events, but Brooklyn, it's a very niche and very like tech space that is growing right now a lot.
Agreed.
And I'm happy that you are taking care of the Brooklyn tech scene, right?
Of course.
That's amazing. So we do have one question here from our audience. It says, "Is the expo open to students? Do you have a special price for students' tickets?"
We usually offer certain amount of tickets early when we start the promotion. We do invite few students to come attend and see what the real world is, engage with the real companies, and usually we offer free student tickets early in the promotional process. So early when we start the promotion, probably this was before New Year's. We did few universities. coming as group. For example, people from New York University came. I'm an alumni of New York University, so I work closely with their business and development department. So their students from New York University came from Columbia, and we constantly have some smaller percentage of students who are interested in development and technology and AI in the real
Yeah.
world.
That's great. And for those students watching at home right now, you can get a 50% discount with Ask
Yeah.
Cyber 50 directly on their website. So go to pulse.nyc and get your
hmm
ticket right there. And this question is like for you, Vlad. What is
hmm
one tech trend that will dominate the 2026 Expo?
Um, there's not just one per se, right? I would say there's AI is everywhere, right? Cybersecurity, practical
Yeah.
enterprise solutions, and startups that focus on real business value, not just hype. That's what's going to be the trend for this year.
That's great. That's amazing. So, for those who wants to participate at the Brooklyn Tech Expo as with the booth, go to Pulse NYC. You will have find all the information there. And those who also want to attend, you can get a 50% discount with us, which is Ask Cyber 50, and attend the Brooklyn Tech Expo. I will be there too. I would love to talk to you in person,
Super.
Vlad,
Yeah, of course.
and make a segment with all the companies. And I'm really excited that you get the Brooklyn Tech scene very hyped, and amazing companies that are going to be showing up.
That's thank you. So last thought is that Brooklyn Tech Expo isn't about just the booth, it's about connections.
Yep,
Whether you're a
of course.
company or an attendee, the value you get depends on how actively you engage. So come, engage, and join our event on February 11th.
And I can't wait to attend those seminars and get the juice out of what is happening in tech right now. And
Mhm.
of course, one thing I forgot to mention is that if you are a student or looking for a job, you're going to be giving away free professional headshots to those who attend the event, right?
Yes, we have two very interesting booths there. There's one is the professional headshots that been so popular. There's a line standing throughout the event. There's a line of people throughout
I
the
can
event waiting
imagine.
to get a free shot. And the other, we're gonna have a magazine booth. So
Nice.
basically, it's a branded Pulse NYC Brooklyn Tech Expo booth where you can make where you can take a photo of yourself as if you were on the cover of a magazine. That's
That's
another thing
very
we're gonna be.
cool.
Yeah, yeah.
That's amazing. I love those ideas, and I'm very excited to get to see this Brooklyn Tech Expo and to get to know what is happening in New York City, right?
Of course.
Amazing. So thank you so much, Vlad, for
Thank
joining
you.
us today. Everybody, please get your tickets today, and let's see you in February 11th, right?
Yes. See you there.
Perfect. Okay.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye bye. So, this was an amazing segment with Vlad about the Brooklyn Tech Expo. And expos like this show how quickly technology is evolving right now. And speaking of which, as we promised at the beginning of this event, I'm here with my co host, Prapti, to talk about what's happening on 2026 CES in Las Vegas. And we're going to be having, like, taking a look and what was happening in the cybersecurity section at CES. Welcome, Prapti. It's great to having you again back to
Hi.
ask me anything cyber.
Thank you so much, Sophie. And just a quick thing before we get started about the CES, I want to thank Vladimir for joining and sharing his insights with us today about the Brooklyn Tech Expo. Conversations like the one you just had show how security and community can come together in the real world. So thank you again for joining us and sharing your insights. And I hope the LinkedIn audience, Substack audience, and YouTube audience, all of you guys watching, would please share your questions in the chat so we can answer them live right now. So,
Yeah.
yes, let's talk about the CES 2026. So, robots, AI, everything is flooding the floor. And
Yeah.
we've been hearing that they can climb stairs. I was just having a conversation with you about that. And
Yes.
there's AI glasses as well that you can use to translate your lunch menu.
Yeah.
Uh, Yeah, so there are two things. Like on one side, we have these groundbreaking discoveries and new technology, and there is the other side with the sea of gadgets where we often see a lot of vulnerable gaps. So one of the most, I think, talked about one is the security chip by Samsung
Yep.
that won the best innovation award in CES this year.
Yep.
So it's about quantum, and I know it sounds a little futuristic. So
Yep.
why is this like a very big deal? And why should we care about all of this?
So I'm really happy to get to talk about this because when we talk about like CES, which is a consumer electronic like fair that we have every year in Las Vegas, we're talking about consumer electronics, and we are forgetting about how are we going to secure these electronics
Hmm.
that are like floating everywhere in our houses, offices, and our daily lives. So when I got to read about all the new tech coming out of CES, the one that really stood out was the Quantum Shield, which is the new chip developed by Samsung. Is the S3 SSE2A, which is the industrial first integrated security chip with hardware based post quantum cryptography. So, in other words, like for those who are watching
Yeah.
at home, this chip is actually working behind the scenes to protect you. So, it matters because we are now facing, as we call it in cybersecurity, harvest now and decrypt later. So the bad guys are stealing your encrypted data and they are storing them from when they are able to get access to a quantum computer to decrypt. What this chip is doing is one of the first real defenses against that kind of future proof attacks that we call. And it's right
Wow.
here, actually. So it's not the future anymore. It's right here. This chip is available. They show it, and it's like a very very like present thing right now.
Yeah, and a new technology. And but often in the security community, especially like whenever I am cruising through LinkedIn, I hear that quantum is coming for your data. And it is
Yeah.
starting to feel like it'll never come. So why is this chip the one that finally matters?
Well, what I mentioned before is like this is a single integrated chip, so they bake it into the silicon. So it's the first integrated chip that will handle PQC at a hardware level. So it's a dedicated engine, and it's actually 17 times faster than actually having a software like an app or something integrated on the device. And the best part is that they claim that this is a nation state level protection and it's running silently in the background. So you don't have to install anything. It already comes with the device.
Wow. And another thing, this is a flagship chip, right? So does
Hmm.
this actually help like the common people, the average person, or is this like a luxury feature meant for the
Yeah.
1%?
And I'm glad that we get to talk about this because as great as it sounds, it does come with a catch because this is like an integrated chip that has to be in the manufacturing process when you are building the hardware device. So this is what they call a secure elite product. And it is going to be in the high-end flagship devices. Samsung announced that it's
Mm.
going to be integrated on their new Galaxy S26
Yeah.
and into some of their EVs from Hyundai. But we know that even though they're going to be integrated into these specific devices, there are other thousands of other IoT devices out there that we've seen at CES actually that they're not integrating security right now. So although it's a major win for mobile and for
Yeah.
EVs, we can see how stagnated the rest of the industry is with this chip. So the budget smart home gear, like your thermostat regulator or your vacuum or anything like you have connected your air fryer,
Yeah.
they want like they're gonna be like light years behind before they integrate this chip because of the cost. So
Uh-huh.
because you're paying, I don't know, $100 for an air fryer that connects to the Wi-Fi, just the single chip by itself, it will cost like three, four times more than
Mhm.
the actual device. So like right now, this chip will be for OLED products, and
Mm-hmm.
especially for their Samsung S26 mobile phone.
Yeah, let's hope that in the coming future they find out a way to reduce the price of it so that it can be integrated in the systems that we use on a daily basis. Because we've seen
Yeah,
cases,
yeah,
of even vacuum cleaners. We covered that in the
yes, the
EcoVax.
Echovac. Yeah.
Yeah, it got hacked, and really hope that they find a way to integrate this into systems like that.
Yeah, and
And
I'm happy that this is a jump into the right direction. Because previous CES, they were not focused on hardware-based
mm,
cybersecurity products, and this is the first time, or one of the first times, that we are seeing cybersecurity hardware products that are going to be integrated into the IoT devices. And this is like a great step into the right direction on protecting first and defend
yeah.
later, right?
Yeah, like I cannot even start thinking about the benefits it would bring to like healthcare systems, considering that they are majorly hacked through IoT
Yeah.
devices. It's going to be really amazing. And on another standout innovation we had at the CES that focused mainly on privacy, specifically in robotics and AI systems, is the
Mm-hmm.
decloak tech. And to be honest, we have noticed a rise of trend in robot in public spaces, healthcare, I just mentioned, and even like constant surveillance has become a real concern. So
Mm-hmm.
now, on the surface level, as much as I understood, Decloak sounds like another cool AI brain for robot, but it's actually tackling a very terrifying reality, right?
Yeah, yeah. And actually, like, look, I mean, we are entering an era of physical AI where it's like a delivery bot or a health assistant in a hospital. So these machines are essentially mobile surveillance towers, I can say, and they have a 360-degree vision. So they're always
Mm,
on. And they traditionally used to send, like, they traditionally send the raw data, like raw video, straight to the cloud. So when that cloud gets hacked, someone isn't just stealing your password, they're watching you private live
yeah,
in 4K. We've seen that, like those like cameras, nanny cameras that are hacked,
yeah,
that they get into the live feed of like watching children, or even like doorbells,
scary.
or all those. Yeah, exactly. So like this is like a little bit like scary, and this product, it sort of brings like a curtain to sort of like protect your identity. So what does it do? And I know this is like a question everybody is like asking at home. This is like they call it a differential privacy. It's
Mm,
instead of a robot seeing you as a John Doe, I don't know, 45 at this bedside at this
uh-huh.
hospital. The cloak hardware, they scramble the biometric data at the moment of capture, and it turns it into a mathematical abstraction, which is like no face. There's no face. There's no biometric associated with the human that is recording right now. So how it works is like the robot's brain still knows there's a human, but it cannot physically tell the cloud who that human is. So it uses this differential privacy engine to de-identify biometric data at the moment of capture. So instead
Uh-huh.
of sending your face to the cloud, it will convert it into untraceable data. That's basically what it is.
S- So it's untraceable even when the robot is looking right at them?
Yes, exactly. That's what they claim to do, right? So I'm just like
Yeah.
a messenger here.
So it's like essentially legally blind to my identity, but still smart enough to save my life. Like, let's say if I trip.
Yeah, yeah. According to what they claim, I can say
Yeah.
yes. So it sort of satisfies the security need without the surveillance risk.
Hmm.
And if the first time that I've seen like a robot that respects the, I don't know, the European
Privacy.
AI Act or the HIPAA
Uh,
privacy laws right off the box. So if you get these cameras in your hospital, you sort of be like protected with against HIPAA privacy laws or the European AI Act.
yeah, that's great. And
Mhm.
one of, another good innovation that came up in CES 2026. And if we just take a look at something a bit more tangible, and I think we all experience this fingerprint scanner. We use it on our phones, laptops, even like, while we are, checking out of something. But if we're being honest, it's kind of a pain if your hands are wet, dirty, or you're wearing gloves. Of course, you have to take them off, and they do not work that way. So the next thing I want to talk about, the invisible perimeter, is a lock that does not want your thumbprint at all. It wants like your skin, veins, if I'm being more accurate. Is this actually more secure, Sophie, or just a more expensive way to just, open doors?
So what I can say, like, it's a little bit more secure because we know of cases where, you leave your fingerprints everywhere
Yeah.
and everything you touch, from your phone screen to, I don't know, a glass of water or even the lock itself. So we've seen cases where, like, sophisticated attackers, they can lift the fingerprints, they can spoof a scanner. There's a lot of technology advanced right now that they are looking for live detection and whatnot, but still there's a flaw. There's a point of entry where they can actually reuse your screens, your fingerprint. But with
Mm.
your palm veins, I can say those are internal, so they are like living vascular maps that they stay under your skin, and it's hard to actually copy those or get
Wow.
access to that data. So in some terms, this technology, it's a little bit more hygienic, I can say, because not everybody's touching. And
Yeah.
second, it's a little bit more secure in the sense that people won't be able, like attackers won't be able to capture your veins because it's a pattern that is constantly changing.
Yeah. So that's actually great. So they can literally scan inside my hand and kind of sound something, out of a sci-fi movie. And I, like you mentioned, love the fact that it is touch free, especially after, the pandemic, and we learned how, these germs or bacteria can transfer, and
Hmm.
the less I have to touch things, the better in public.
Yeah.
But then again, like we spoke about the Samsung, does this also have a premium gap?
Well, I can say yes to an extent, yes, because this is like a hide and lock that you will use for your office or warehouses when it has like a multiple uses, and not just yourself entering your home. So they haven't announced the pricing yet on this, so I cannot talk about pricing
Mm,
wise, but it's sort of like an industrial usage of this lock, and it's called the Ultra Lock Bolt Sense, and it's one of the first locks that moves away from the surface level biometrics, and they are using your vascular system, which is private, and they
mm,
are using what is called palm vein recognition, and they won't be able to spoof this lock with a photo or a mold, I can say.
mm.
So this is sort of like the high end techs that we've seen at CES.
Yeah,
Uh, but again, it was very like it fall very short in cybersecurity terms. And considering that everything was IoT and everything was
yeah.
connected to the internet, and we've seen very few like gadgets dedicated to cybersecurity, like specifically.
Yeah. And I really hope that, these things, like, which is more difficult to track and spoof, I hope they have really robust cybersecurity features so that, as we have mentioned a lot of times before, that as we are advancing, so are the hackers advancing. So let's hope that we can always stay, think two steps ahead of them.
Yeah.
And to be honest, we had a conversation with Scott Schober. If you've been watching our lives, for a while, we were joined previously by him, and he spoke a lot about AirTag stalking. AirTag was a new thing, a new technology, but soon people found out a way to exploit it. He brought forward some cases about people being stalked, harassed through that, or even doing illegal activities. So, as wireless and Bluetooth based attacks increase, these tools that help detect and expose them are becoming more and more essential, and not just for enterprises businesses to use, but also for like regular people, daily people, women, everybody can use them and, get themselves a peace of mind. So go grab yours. You can scan the QR to know more all about the product. It's called the Blue Sleuth Light, and you can give yourself that peace of mind that you are safe. So now let's bring another topic that's a bit close towards home. We have
Mm-hmm.
also seen headlines about cloud-based cameras, right? Being accessed without consent. Like we just, I think, spoke about it. Some of the newer systems at the CES are trying to remove the cloud entirely. Instead of like sending footage offsite, analysis happens locally. That means the
Mm-hmm.
data stays inside the home. So
Yeah.
it's not just about, is this just about like avoiding subscription fees?
So this device, they won the CES Innovation Award, also, and we know that most cameras they send the video to a server in the cloud to think and identify objects. So what this camera is doing from Reolink, they move
Yeah.
that brain into a local hub they build on the camera, and they call it the AI box. So it sort of handles everything like personal detection, facial recognition, natural languages searches, like find the guy in the red hat or whatever it is, entirely from your inside, from your home. So it's not sending it to the cloud anymore. It's just processing everything in one box at your home.
Wow. So, does that mean my private footage actually stays private and it never leaves my house? So, isn't
Yes.
that a good thing? Nice innovation. And is there any gaps in this area, or is there anything that, we should be concerned about as cybersecurity professionals?
Yeah, I
Is
mean,
this
I
something we're
guess,
doing?
I guess what they say, like what they claim that it stays private. I guess it's a good feature. Like there's no cloud, no monthly
Hmm.
privacy, cost, and no risk of a data breach at a server farm.
Yes.
So it's like a good technology, a good idea. And I like the fact that they are thinking about like local only mindset. So that's a great thing. Like local AI, it will be like the only way to guarantee that nobody is in your living room watching you.
Yeah, and we've seen some scary Reddit stories about that as well. And this is, I think, a part of a layer added so that, not everything is in the cloud. And finally, we have something straight out of the Matrix movie. We talked about the Jana YR. It is a chip for the wearables that we use, like watches, rings, and glasses, even. But it does not use Bluetooth or Wi Fi to communicate. It uses like people. So, how does that work exactly?
So this is a great technology that is being developed. They were part of the Eureka Park at CES, which is the section for startups that are just
Uh
like
huh.
developing a proof of concept, or they're just starting with their technology. And what is great about it is like these companies they get to showcase what they are building at home, and to find investors or to get new customers, or just like to get them know out there is like a great I can say section at CES, where you get to see all these startups coming out of stealth mode and showing what they're doing. So what Aitsana did here, this they built a chip that sends data through electromagnetic fields on your skin rather than over air like Bluetooth.
Wow. Yeah.
So what they're claiming is like it's nearly impossible to sniff or hack their wearables from a distance. In order to actually get like hacked, I could say a hacker will have to touch you
Yeah,
directly.
really close to you.
Yes. So we're just like moving away from hackers thousands miles away hacking you. We're just like closing the gap of like
Yeah.
narrowing the attacking surface. And what I can say about this is like this is like a cool technology that is being developed right now. I'm
Hmm.
not sure if you're ready, like we are there
There
yet
yet. Yeah.
to implement it at a global scale. But again, the signal is physically confined to within like very few inches from your body.
Yeah, and that will help like with easier identification if anything happens, and it'll help, catch the criminal, cyber criminal more easily.
Yeah,
So I'm glad the CES showed us a very clear shift, if anything, that
yeah,
security is, it's more proactive rather than reactive these days, and
yeah.
it is being designed for that.
So I can say, like, with all these five gadgets that we've seen, this could be like the best of cybersecurity CES 2026. So from
Yeah.
like quantum ready chips to vein scanning devices.
Mm-hmm.
So I think this is like high end tech, and it's getting
Mm.
like very, very like secure out there. But again, as we like I started with that first slide, like the great divide is like, while these gadgets are leading the way into cybersecurity, there
Yeah.
are other like million other like smart devices that are still treating privacy like an afterthought.
Yeah.
I can say, after watching hundreds of CES reports and reading blog posts and everything, all these gadgets were focusing on the consumer experience that rather than the consumer security.
Uh-huh. Yeah, and I think they want a more smoother experience, but we often forget that there are gaps there. And I think we often mention our CEO Mark often mentions that cybersecurity only matters to people when they actually get breached or hacked.
Yeah.
That's the only time people care about it. So hopefully that we can move with more innovations like this, but make it available across all devices. And before we move on, a quick message from our trusted partner, Pack. They have an upcoming AI defense event coming up, which focus on real-world threats, practical defensive strategies, and what security teams actually need to know today. There's a 40% discount available if you work in security, risk, or AI governance. This is worth checking out for you. So you can use the code cybermaterial40 for a discount or scan the QR on the screen right now to avail the discount. So let's not go anywhere. Stay tuned because coming up we have the cyber briefing recap where we break down the biggest cybersecurity stories of this week. And here's a quick video, and you can get all your latest cyber alerts, headlines delivered straight to your inbox.
Stay ahead of the cyber curve with real-time alerts, incident reports, and the latest cybersecurity news, all in one streamlined, easy-to-read newsletter. Join more than 20,000 subscribers who rely on cyber briefing, available on LinkedIn, Medium, and now on Substack. Don't wait to protect your digital world. Subscribe today and stay informed with Cyber Briefing by Cyber Material.
There we are.
That was about the cyber briefing, and you should go ahead subscribe to our newsletter if you haven't. It's got the latest cybersecurity alerts, news, incidents, and we cover it all. So if you are somebody who's a professional or even somebody who is at home watching this show and would like to protect your cybersecurity environment just a bit more, the first step is to stay updated. So you can scan the QR on the screen right now, and it will take you directly, and subscribe to it. It will just deliver straight to your inbox. And the first thing that I would like to talk about is the LastPass. I think it went through a phishing scam lately because it some emails were sent. So what happened?
So this is an alert that we included in our cyber briefing. I think it was on Tuesday or yesterday. I don't
Mm,
remember exactly.
yesterday,
But
yeah.
this is very important because LastPass is warning about like fake maintenance scams,
Yeah.
emails that their users are getting into their inbox, and they're like the scammers are pretending to be LastPass and telling users that some urgent maintenance is needed on their accounts. So the goal is to trick people into giving away their sensitive information, like always, like the master password to log in into LastPass. So
Oh.
the key point here is like legitimate LastPass maintenance will never ask for your master password. So if you get a message claiming otherwise, please,
Mm.
it's a scam. So it's the basic classic phishing attempt that we've been talking about, and they use like a urgency and like
Yeah.
tech alert.
The
And
fear game. They like to play that game a lot.
Exactly. And why these type of scams are still a thing is because what they usually do is like they exploit the people's trust because people
Mm-hmm.
recognize the brand. They said, "Oh, LastPass, I'm a customer," and they contain all their passwords to their life.
Yeah.
So these scammers, they know that when they see a no name, it makes it look like more legit.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it happen because people, they reuse passwords or they reuse emails, so that's why they are receiving these type of scams. And even if you were not a LastPass customer, you may still be able to receive this email
Yeah.
because they hack databases, so they send it like to a lot of people.
Yeah.
So even if you were not a customer, you may have received this message, and you may were like, "Oh, did I have a LastPass account? I forgot about it." So some people, they also like fall for those things. So
Yeah.
again, they use the trick of, oh, this is a known brand, and people, they sort of trust it.
Yeah. And I think LastPass has been a victim of a previous cyber attack, and it kind of like caused a lot of data. Like a lot of data was breached, and we did cover it in our cybercrime stories. So it's on 911 Cyber, and we kind of do a postmortem of the entire thing. So you can actually go and take a look at it. And it really does talk about how vulnerable these systems are. And
Mhm.
the next one I would like to talk about is, I think, the alert, no, an incident we have today. It was about Zendex and the ticket systems that was hijacked globally.
So this also goes on the same line as LastPass, but in this case, they actually get access to Zendesk systems. So what did happen is like the attackers, they compromise Zendesk. They use as if you don't know what Zendesk is, it's a customer support platform. So
Mm.
you sort of manage all your customers in one platform. You can email them, you can contact them. So they get access to multiple companies worldwide support ticket system, and they were able to read sensitive customers' message. They were able to impersonate company support agents, and they were able to steal and inject malicious links in some of those emails. So essentially, it was a big breach because it
Wow.
affected multiple organizations at once. And this is just the beginning today, what we are learning about this specific
Attack.
incident.
Yeah.
So in the upcoming weeks, I feel like we're going to get to know which companies were affected by this, and and what Zendesk is recommending people to do, their customers. But again, as a cybersecurity professional, and if you were a customer of 911 Cyber, what I would recommend is like you have to alert your customers that there's a
Mm-hmm.
chance that their data was that may have been exposed, and you have to let them know that if you receive an email from our customer support or our support agents, it probably was not coming from us, but it was
Yeah.
through, just to warn your customers not to engage. Now, you need to tread lightly here because it could be like you could be like overstepping and saying, nobody emailed my customers, and then you're just like,
Yeah.
so you need to be careful, but you need to let them know, um, you know, uh, what happened exactly. So
Exactly.
that's the best thing you can do. Now, second thing, what you have to do is audit your third party apps integrations that they are connected to Zendesk. They could be compromised as well. So if you connected, for example, WhatsApp, or if you connected any chatbot or anything with
Okay.
your Zendesk platform, make sure you check those integrations and see if they not compromise those as well. And
Yeah.
another thing is like monitor for phishing attempts. The hackers may be like using stolen information from your customers to trick your employees into giving away like data, more data. So this is like a two-sided thing. So keep
Yeah.
your tech team alert on this situation, to be more cautious and to keep an eye on something like suspicious
Yeah.
or something odd.
It does sound like a really large scale data breach. Like there's a lot of sides to it that people would want to watch out for, a lot of things that are vulnerable. And
Mhm.
another thing, Zendex did disclose it right away, which is a good thing, because often we see that companies, they keep that information and later it kind of like blows up and into this big deal, and more data is lost than more data is recovered.
So we're
So
going to be
that's
learning the real extent of this in a couple more weeks when companies are
yeah,
going to start like reporting this to the attorney
exactly.
generals or to the FTC or everything, like they have to like follow the law. And this is like
Hmm.
multi-global thing, so it's not going to be affected only US based companies, also
Yeah,
around the world that rely on Zendesk for customer service. So
exactly.
stay tuned.
We're going to
Unfortunately.
learn more about it. And for the last news, we have Ukraine and Germany that have targeted Black Basta. So, Sophie, would you like to tell us more about that?
So, as we always have as a tradition here on the cyber briefing headlines, and I love about this, is that we always talk about something positive in the
Yeah.
like cyber world. And so this time, Ukraine and Germany, they have a joint force to target Black Basta. So it means that the authorities of these countries, they are taking actions against this notorious ransomware group,
Yeah.
and they have identified two suspects linked to the Black Basta ransomware group, and they issued international warrant for the Russian leaders to extradite them. And
Hmm.
investigation, they focus on the individual responsibility for cracking passwords and facilitating the network bridges that cripple like hundreds of organizations that we have talked before. Black Basta was very active in 2024 and at the beginning
Hmm.
of 2025. So we know that Black Basta is a group that is known for encrypting organization systems and
Hmm.
demanding large ransoms, sums of money. They
Yeah.
are known for stealing sensitive data before locking the systems. And mostly they are the ones targeting government organizations and critical infrastructure. So this is why it's very like a big deal. And we know that they were looking for like the involvement like in the operations, and they are arresting other Black Basta members.
Hmm.
They were facilitating the infrastructure used by the group. So it essentially is like a coordinated effort to disrupt Black Basta, led
Yeah.
by Germany police. And they
And
Mhm.
yeah, hopefully we're going to see more updates on that as well, because this is really positive news. And this wasn't the only positive news today. We had so many positive technologies and innovations that we saw in CES 2026. So overall, I would really say that cybersecurity is heading towards a more secure place. And now, before we wrap up, a quick shout out to Echo Party and their call for papers in Miami. So if you're doing solid work in cybersecurity research, offensive or defensive work, or threat intel, hardware hacking, privacy, anything, you're working on anything related to cybersecurity, this is a great opportunity for you to share it with a global audience. So submissions are open and deadlines are coming up soon. So you can just scan the QR to get started and submit. Make sure that you don't procrastinate anymore and look into this. So actually, we have a question coming in from LinkedIn.
Yes.
It's by Coel, and she's asking, as a junior cybersecurity engineer at my company, how can I handle a ransomware attack? Sophie, what would you like to tell her?
Well, I love this question because, as a cybersecurity, like a junior engineer, like the most important thing is to understand that you're not expected to be the hero here. You're expected to help and to follow the lead of your supervisors because of your role as a junior cybersecurity. But first, I will always say like don't panic, don't freelance. Most companies they have incident response plans. So if there isn't one, your first move would be to like containment, to isolate the affected systems, pull network access, disable
Mm-hmm.
Wi-Fi, block any lateral movement that you can see. And as we know, like speed matters more than perfection. And one thing is like preserve evidence always. Don't reboot the machines. Don't wipe the systems. Don't start restoring backups until you're ready that they are out of your network. Make sure to capture logs, any memory timestamps, anything that you
Yeah.
can use to preserve. And as an incident responder, the first 30 minutes will determine how you're going to recover later. So like in terms of like technical and of course legally speaking, because if you're working for a company that is in the healthcare system or it's a government organization, you are like legally preserving evidence matters. So that's very important. You can be subpoenaed later and to
Oh,
actually like explain yourself why, and you don't want to be an accomplice of what happened. So it's very important for you to preserve information. And now, as a junior cybersecurity engineer, the third thing that you have to do if you are by if you are the one discovering this
mhm.
is escalate fast. Loop in your your senior security or IT leadership or your legal counsel right away. Ransomware isn't just like a technical problem, remember? It's also a business problem, it's also a legal problem. So it's very important for cybersecurity um, juniors to always involve their senior. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah. And then another like bonus tip. I know
Yeah.
I said at the beginning, don't be a hero. uh, don't engage with the attacker on your own. I
Yeah.
know it's tempting to talk to the hackers and say, you know what, blah blah blah, don't do it or whatever, to engage with them. Don't do it. No negotiating, no emails, no crypto talk until you discuss this with your leadership and with your
Yep.
legal counsel, and sometimes with law enforcement. So, this is very important to coordinate a response with the attackers. So, do not engage with them. Talk with somebody, with your supervisor, talk with law enforcement, with your legal counsel, or involve a cybersecurity company to help you
Mhm.
troubleshoot these issues. They know exactly what they have to do if you don't have a full robust cybersecurity department in your company.
Yeah, and it is like a little, watch out because, as Sophie mentioned, that you don't want to be an accomplice. So, logging is really that important in the first 30 minutes, right? You've talked about this as an incident responder yourself.
Yeah.
And I think it's one of the most important parts. And we had
Mhm.
another very brilliant session with Melissa. Yeah, she
Yes.
was in the
Yes.
Canadian law firm and she
Yeah.
was also talking about it, how legally
Yes.
speaking, it is also very important. So hopefully, Koel, Sophie was able to share her expert insights, and this will help you out in your junior cybersecurity career. And hopefully, you're gonna excel forward. And for the LinkedIn audience, YouTube audience, Substack audience watching, thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you, Sophie, for being here with us. Subscribe to our Cyber Briefing newsletter because it's a 360 of all the updates that you need right in your inbox. And another thing is that if you have any more questions about cybersecurity, we're here every Thursday. So, coming up January 29th, we have a special guest, Stephanie Zavala, the head of cybersecurity recruitment at Lawrence Harvey. So, she can kind of give you an idea about what cybersecurity professionals are looking for, what kind of cutting edge technology, education, knowledge do you need in order to get recruited and get a little bit of behind the scenes of what recruiters talk about. So this will be a live conversation, and I think this will be very useful for people in cybersecurity professional or looking for jobs or applying for jobs. So looking forward to seeing everybody here coming Thursday 29th.
Perfect. So thank you, everybody. Looking forward to our next session again. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for our next Ask Me Anything Cyber, a fun, interactive weekly event for everything cybersecurity. Join us every week at noon Eastern Time for another high-energy recap of the week's biggest cyber stories, from data breaches and threat intel to major legal updates. Whether it's a high-profile hack, a new APT on the rise, or a must-attend summit, we've got it covered. But that's not all. We'll also break down the latest job market trends, share our thoughts on cyber stocks, and give you actionable insights to stay ahead. And of course, we wrap things up with what makes this show special, live Q&A with you. Have a question about a breach? Want to know how a threat works? Curious about getting started in cyber? Let us know and we'll answer it live. See you next week.